Guru happens through the grace of God. So when the disciple's mind is ripe, the Guru comes along. Now, what Ramana Maharshi said is that Guru is necessary for permanent awareness of the self. But Guru is not limited to a form. So he makes the distinction in this way, that there is an outer Guru and an inner Guru. So outer Guru can be a Guru in human form or in other forms such as scriptures, books. But the inner Guru is within oneself. And that inner Guru is the self. When I say self, I mean one with a capital S. The self that is the source or pure awareness. So the inner Guru dissolves the I thought back to the source. And that is what Ramana Maharshi calls self-realization. But what about the outer Guru? What is the role of the outer Guru? And how does one recognize a genuine Guru? Now, as I said, that even the outer Guru comes through the grace of God. But one has to remember that the role of the outer Guru is simply to give pointers. The master will give you the right pointers because master understands your complete conditioning. And a true master, a true outer Guru will always be an integrated human being. That means that he does not have a different, he does not operate differently in some scenarios and operate differently in other scenarios. He's a completely integrated human being. So the only yardstick, the only measure that can help you identify a true Guru is that you experience a sense of peace or sweetness in your heart when you're around that person. The outer Guru, the human Guru, may not necessarily claim to be a Guru. They may not recite verses from the Upanishads or the scriptures. They may not come across as very learned. They may explain very simple concepts, try to make things as simple as possible. And the most important thing is that a truly compassionate Guru will never give you additional things to do. They will never give you burden of activities. Because as it is, we are so burdened in the modern world. There are so many activities, so many things for us to do from morning till night. And yet some gurus come along and they say do meditation every day for 1 hour or do yoga practices. Now all those are helpful. They're definitely very helpful. But when it comes to self-realization, a true genuine Guru will only give you a pointer so that your mind turns inward. And it is your own inner guru, your own inner principle, which is the self, which is the source, that will allow for the dissolution of sense of personal identification, which is the separation, which is the suffering. So don't expect your guru, the one in the human form, to hold your hand all the time. Because even the outer guru does not have the power to give you self-realization. Self-realization, it's a recognition. It is not something that you can give to somebody. The outer guru appears in human form because you are identified with the human form. So the source, out of compassion, sends you a guru in the human form. But that may not necessarily be the case with everyone. And the true guru will not give steps, dogmas, practices, or hardened activities. The true guru will free you from the burdens. Because the true guru's objective is only to allow your mind to turn inwards. That is the only way to achieve a sattvic mind, a still mind. And only in the still mind, the recognition of self can happen. Ramana Maharshi has put it in very clear words. And I will read a few lines. So, where Ramana Maharshi says, now these are his words. He says, "He who instructs an ardent seeker to do this or that is not a true master. The seeker is already afflicted by his activities and wants peace and rest. In other words, he wants cessation of his activities. Activity is the destruction of one's inherent happiness. If activity is advocated, the advisor is not a master but a killer. In such circumstances, either the creator, Brahma, or death, Yama, may be said to have come in the guise of a master. Such a person cannot liberate the aspirant. He can only strengthen his fetters." What the true guru is interested in is destroying your sense of personal doership. So, if the guru gives things to do, claiming that by doing certain practices or certain things you will achieve self-realization, that itself would be a contradiction. That itself would be a doership. Because we all have our unique process of recognizing the truth. There is no one practice, one method, one teaching that is suitable for all. It would be wrong to say that the non-duality is the only teaching that can lead to self-realization. Self-realization can happen through any teaching or through no teaching. There are people who have realized self even before they knew anything about the teaching. Even when they did not have an external master. The source invoked the internal guru, and the internal guru dissolved their sense of personal identification. So it happens through the grace of God. A guru that is giving steps or telling you how to live your life may not be a true guru. And there are a lot of gurus in the marketplace today that are telling how one should operate, how one should live, as if the whole idea of thinking should be outsourced to the guru. So the guru is not going to think on your behalf. The guru gives you the pointer, and it is you who has to do the thinking, who has to do the contemplation or self reflection or self inquiry. It is you who have to do the entire thing. But if you use guru as a crutch, if you burden the guru with your emotional reactions all the time, then that is disrespectful. So if the guru holds your hands compassionately, allow yourself to relax, to receive the guru's grace. A true master may or may not wear a robe. Generally, there is no need to wear a robe. And the true master understands what you're thinking. So don't try to trick the master. Because the mind that has known its true nature, that mind becomes highly intuitive. That mind becomes very sensitive and empathetic and compassionate at the same time. So don't misuse a guru's compassion. And it is not in guru's interest to keep you or retain you as a disciple for a long time. Any guru who tries to keep a disciple confused or with them all the time, asking them services, unreasonable services, is not a true guru. The guru's conditioning is such that the masters receive happiness when the disciple realizes the self, because then the separation between the guru and the disciple ends. You see, for guru, there is no division. The guru does not live in division. Guru has already transcended that paradigm, that duality. But for the disciple, he pretends to be that way, because he knows that the disciple is operating from a different consciousness. So out of compassion, he pretends to play the guru and disciple game. But deep down, the true guru knows that there is no difference between the disciple and the guru. So the seeking has to end. Even the devotion has to end to awaken the heart. You don't want to remain a disciple or a devotee your entire life, because then you keep the separation alive, and that becomes a painful living. The separation has to end. The devotion has to have a culmination point. And the true guru will do everything in his capacity to end that in you as soon as possible. Because guru's happiness lies in your liberation, not in your bondage, not in your servitude.